What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you a review of the Air Jordan 13 Retro in this Dune Red colorway. This is a brand new colorway of the Air Jordan 13, which a lot of people are saying looks very similar to the Bin 23 Air Jordan 13s. So the Bin 23 Air Jordan 13 released back in 2010. And this is part of this Bin 23 collection, which was Jordan Brand's answer for a more premium and elevated version of their iconic silhouettes. So for example, we have the Bin 23 Air Jordan 2, Air Jordan 5, and Air Jordan 13 to name a few. So while this Dune Red colorway is similar, it's not quite exact, which is probably a good thing for collectors out there. Either way though, this pair is releasing on June 25th for a price of $200 or $260 here in Canada. And the official colorway for this shoe is Dune Red, Terra Blush, and White. And these are going to be available at most Air Jordan retailers, including The Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Nike retros and Jordan releases, and they're independently owned and operated based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. So for all my Canadian viewers out there, I've linked their socials, their website, all that good stuff down below. So check them out, support the independent shops, and tell them that I sent you. So diving right into the details of the shoe itself, starting things off with the toe box, this is covered in actual genuine white leather, which has a bit of a tumbled look to it. Overlaid on both sides of the shoe, we have this dimpled nylon overlay, which is done in this Dune Red color with mix of reflective 3M intertwined throughout. So you'll see on the lateral side, this overlay ends right before the toe box, whereas for the medial side, it extends from the heel all the way right to the edge of the toe box itself. And then underneath this, we have this synthetic suede, which is done in this peachy or skin-like tone. And then towards the heel on the lateral side, we have the iconic holographic Air Jordan logo, which is inspired by a panther's eye. On the base of the sneaker, right before the laces, we have this Jordan tag done in this Dune Red color. And then in terms of the laces themselves, they're your standard thin rope style laces, which most Air Jordan 13s come with. Underneath this, the tongue is crafted using a synthetic leather, so this is not genuine leather like the toe box, and it has a bit more of a crunchy feel to it. So the tongue is perforated, and then on the very top we have this embroidered Jumpman logo. The back of the tongue and the interior liner of the shoe, this is covered in this Dune Red colored lining, and then as far as the insoles go, so these come with a thin polyurethane foam insole, and it's finished in this Dune Red color on top, and we have a white Jumpman logo pressed onto the heel. So the upper of the Jordan 13 sits atop this full-length Phylon foam midsole, which is covered primarily in that same synthetic suede that we saw covering the back half of the sneaker. Encased within the sneaker, we have Zoom Air both underneath the forefoot as well as underneath the heel, but this is not visible to the eye. And then for the outsole, so this is inspired by a panther's paw. So we have these white colored rubber pods, which has this herringbone style traction pattern on them. And then the rest of the outsole is comprised of this peach tone and Dune Red colored rubber. We have the circular Air Jordan branding on the lateral side towards the heel. And underneath this, we have this carbon fiber shank plate as well. And this is there to help with torsional rigidity and mid-foot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. Air Jordan 13s either fit me a half size big or true to size, meaning I either go with a 9.5 or my true size, size 10. So I'd say that for this pair, if you have a narrow or even a normal width foot and you'd like an exact snug 1-to-1 fit, then you can go a half size down. But for normal width footers or wide footers, I'd recommend sticking true to size. I know there's some variations between colorways, some just fit a little bit roomier, but I felt like for this pair, I didn't need to go a half size down, so true to size for me at least is perfectly fine. Next up in terms of the comfort, so the Jordan 13 in my opinion is a shoe that feels a lot more comfortable than it looks. First of all, it's extremely lightweight, which is a great thing when you're rocking these, even though they look extremely bulky, and the tooling in the midsole is quite comfortable even for a casual use sneaker. So we have that Phylon along with Zoom Air both underneath the forefoot and the heel, so you can feel that softness and responsiveness even if I'm just walking around casually with these Jordan 13s. So I feel like they definitely break in and feel more comfortable the more you break in the sneaker and the more you wear them, but honestly straight out of the box they still feel pretty good on foot. Last but not least, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality was largely synthetic materials, but I'm glad that they utilized genuine leather along the toe box. However, the rest of the materials are pretty forgettable. There's really nothing special or premium about any of the materials used on this pair, but I thought the build of the sneaker was decent. For a mass-produced general release Jordan, my pair at least was pretty flawless. There were some very minor issues, if I'm nitpicking, surrounding the midsole area where the synthetic suede connects to the rubber pods, but really there's nothing for me to seriously complain about. So with all that being said, now let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, this is a pretty unique colorway of the Air Jordan 13. In my eyes, it kind of resembles like a red variant of the Flint 13 maybe. And of course, it does draw many similarities to the Bin 23s as well. So it comes down to personal preference. Are you someone that can rock this shade of red with a shade of peach or pink? I think it's not going to be a colorway for everyone, but I think this is a colorway that's well put together. The colors just work together. And even though it's not necessarily a silhouette that I can rock too much these days, I still think it's a pretty well done shoe by Jordan Brand. So I'm sure that these are going to be sitting on shelves, so it's just a matter of time when they're discounted. So if you're looking to pick these up, I would probably wait for these to eventually go on sale, but what do I know? Crazier things have happened. And don't take my word for it in case they somehow magically sell out on the release day. So leave your thoughts down below. Let me know, what do you guys think of this Dune Red Air Jordan 13? When these drop on the 25th, is this going to be a cop or a drop for you? Or are you just going to be waiting for these to eventually drop in price? As usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, check me out on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.